Hello, everyone. This is Group 6. The topic we bring today is reflection on business ethics inspired by Xibei's permanent dishes. Our presentation will be divided into 4 parts: background, analysis, impact, and conclusion. For the first part, I will introduce the case background. Will you still dine at a restaurant if you knew all these dishes were permitted? On September 10th, 2025, entrepreneur Lou Yunhao criticized Xibei, a famous Chinese restaurant, on Weibo, stating its dishes were almost entirely permitted and overpriced, and called for legislation to force restaurants to indicate whether to use permitted dishes. As we know, Xibei has been promoting the health and freshness of its dishes before. Lou's contempt can be said to have pushed it to the forefront of false advertising. Xibei's founder, Jia Guolong, responded rapidly, denying the use of permitted dishes and threatening to sue Lou. To prove its claims, Xibei opened its kitchens to the public across 370 stores on September 12th, launched a combo menu including certain dishes Lou ordered, and released preparation guidelines for these items. However, media investigations uncovered issues like expired ingredients, genetically modified soybean oil, reheated cold dishes, and an uncertified head chef, deepening public distrust. Subsequently, the insincere wording in the apology letter from Xibei further exacerbated negative public reaction. The scandal highlights the gap between vague permit for regulations and consumer expectations. Xibei argued that its dishes are not permitted food because they are made in the central kitchen, while customers believe that anything not freshly cooked are permitted food. Despite commitment to reform, Xibei's brand reputation and consumer trust has been severely damaged due to this incident. The next part is analysis.
After understanding the background, we are going to analyze it. Looking back at this case, why were the people so angry? First, because of verbal deception. Xibei insisted in its initial response that it didn't use pre-made meals. Despite knowing the truth, it still chose to deceive customers, violating the obligation to provide true information stipulated in the Consumer Rights and Interest Protection Law. Second, due to a pricing asset gap, Xibei's average per capita cost is about 85 yuan, which is nearly 50% higher than that of similar restaurants. However, use cheap pre-made meals with a price-cost difference of 4 to 5 times. Customers pay money but don't receive value commensurate with the price. Third, it neglected moral responsibility towards vulnerable groups. There's a slogan in Xibei's advertisement: if you have tried it at Xibei, but the broccoli in children's meal was frozen for 2 years before being served, and no special standards were set for children. After Xibei's pre-made meals was exposed, many people felt extremely angry, feeling deceived. A highly prized comment online was, "You may pre-cook, but you must label it." Such immoral and untrustworthy behavior deserves to be condemned.
Next, the recent incident involving Xibei's pre-made meals has had a significant impact on all 3 parties. Firstly, for consumers, many have realized that there remains no mandatory standard for defining pre-made meals. Numerous consumers, including industry associations, are now calling for the swift implementation of a clear labeling system to safeguard the rights and interests of food consumers. Secondly, Xibei's reputation and revenues have suffered a severe blow. Chairman Jia Guolong stated that on 10th and 11th September, daily turnover across all Xibei outlets decreased by approximately 1 million yuan each day. By 12th September, this figure continued to rise. Outlets across multiple regions also saw performance impacts. On 13th September, Xibei's largest Beijing branch witnessed its lunchtime waiting list decrease from about 140 tables at weekends to around 37 tables. Consequently, the company issued an apology via Weibo on the 15th, promising to complete rectification measures across all outlets before October. Finally, on 15 September, the pre-cooked meal controversy reached the Asia market. Data showed the pre-cooked meal concept index was finally 1.71% higher. This may stem from Chinese consumers realizing no fundamental difference exists between expensive restaurants and affordable pre-cooked meals, sparkling a wave of rejecting middleman markup. Meanwhile, several dining brands proactively adjusted their approaches. Homer Original Chicken pinned its Weibo post pre-cooked meal labeling statement to the top, while Mr. Rice launched live streams to transparently show its kitchen operations to consumers.
Lastly, in conclusion, there are two key business ethics problems over the controversy. The first one is an imbalance between pre-made meals and high prices. Consumers are not willing to buy pre-made meals at an unreasonable high price. The second one is an absence of the right to know among consumers. Consumers have the right to know the origin of the meals they order, to know where the ingredients in their ordered dishes come from. So for future prospects, firstly, let's look at the catering industry as a whole. Shibe's controversy has undoubtedly served as a stark wake-up call. Other food service businesses must learn from this lesson, providing enough transparent and fair information about food and setting prices. Secondly, let's look at the regulatory authorities. Strengthened oversight is needed regarding the use of pre-made meals and the disclosure of such information across the catering sector. Finally, it will foster a healthy, trustworthy dining environment and drive the entire industry toward more standardized, orderly development that respects consumers. That's all about our presentation. Thanks for your listening.